By the way, you can hear all the traffic from everything. I absolutely love this area. Everything about it, from the people, the honking horns, and this Publix. So when I was a kid, I wanted to buy a Mountain Dew from Miss Gloria, wonderful woman. I ended up working with her 15 years later, about 10 years later. Anyway, so I came in, it was 99 cents at the time. This is in the early 90s. And I came in with a $1 bill expecting to get 1 penny back. And instead, she says, "Hey, you owe me 7 cents. And I said, "What? It says 99 cents. What are you talking about?" And she goes, "Yes, sweetie, but there's tax." And I said, "Tax? What the heck is that?" Well, I ended up learning right then and there, around 7, 8 years old, that taxes were going to be a big part of the rest of my life. And Miss Gloria is the one that taught me it. Ironically, Miss Gloria is the same one who I spent my first $100 bill with, and I bought a package of ground beef. And she said, "Do you know what your change is?" And I spent probably way too long for everybody else in the line, but she gave me a chance to truly figure it out. And I was wrong by $1, but she was still so proud and super supportive. She gave me back the right change, and I skated the blocks all the way back home with $97 of change in my pocket as a little kid. So it was really full circle moment when I got my first job, learned more about taxes, and got to see how difficult it was to make that 100. So anyway, we're headed over to Fern Creek, and this is another big section for me, just because I learned how to properly cross the street, Brian. And unfortunately, I'm going to blur out what's there now, but I'll cut to a shot of what I find on the internet for the car AC company that owned this corner for like 25 years of my life. I don't know how long before that. I knew the owner because I worked at this Publix, and he was a really great guy. He was the second owner. He ended up buying it for, I believe, $1 million back in the early 2000s. And, you know, just like Walt says, you can't stop progress. This is progress. I'm not happy about it, but you can't stop progress. So we'll cut to that, and you can, so we're going to blur it out. So then looking over on this corner, we also have the 7-Eleven that used to be a little mom and pop gas station. And then there's our Publix. These shops are relatively new in the sense that they've only been here like 15 years. And then obviously, as we see, we have the brand new housing going up right here. This used to be a beat up old corner, and now I actually don't know how many units are going to be in this, but we can look into that. And then we're going to go right back here and check out what's back here. So we're just off of Fern Creek in Colonial, and I thought this was a really cool shot of the construction going on behind the building. So going down a little bit further, Fern Creek is what used to be Fern Creek Elementary. Now it's some other school that doesn't matter. But there is also a rec center directly across the street, and that's where I spent a lot of days in summer when I wasn't skating. Again, just showing you kind of what I grew up with, the Mills 50. I know it's kind of loud with all the traffic, but when I was a kid, this was actually the after schools program that was designated by our school. I never went to it, but my brother did, and instead I played different sports. So we are on the backside of some of the businesses here. This is the skate shop. I like some of the art that we have. Again, if you're just driving by and you're kind of checking out the area, drive behind some of the shops, check out what they have, and there's a lot of hidden nuances that you're probably not going to see just cruising through. Again, growing up here, this is what I grew up with. Tons of art. We're going to pan over here, and this is Sam Flax. This is their newer location. It's been here for a few years, but they are well established in the Mills 50 area, and again, supporting the local scene, supporting all the arts that we have around here. So they do change these murals out regularly. And it's cool to give like a little local artist an opportunity to kind of get up and be seen. I actually really like this one. So that one I haven't seen yet. And I love the detail. So, still recording? I dig it. when I was a kid, back at the original location in front of that Publix, it was actually really cool to go in as a little local artist, and you could pick up free graphite samples, paint samples, and a lot of little knickknacks like that for free. And since we were kids, it was nice because we didn't have to pay anything. Check this place out. It's really amazing. They cater to all mediums, and I have always loved them and will always love them. Check it out, guys. All right, so cameraman Brian here just asked me if that is a broadcasting building. And I said, what the hell is a broadcasting building? And it was like, for broadcasting, duh. And I busted out laughing because I totally misunderstood it. That is an adult family care center, meaning it's an elderly home, senior facility, whatever you want to call it. That is where we are on. That building is on Northampton Avenue. Northampton Avenue is the road that I grew up on. And we're going to cut to a better scene, but I'm going to tell you about each of these buildings going all the way over to Scrubs and beyond. Each of these buildings. Again, excuse the noise, everyone. Also, I'm not laughing because you didn't know it. I'm laughing more that it was such a unique question. And I mean, I guess I understand it, right? If we're looking up at the very top, you would assume it's a broadcasting. But I just never would have conceived that thought. We recorded? Oh, even better. So this Lily's Bridal and Just Puppies used to be one store. And it actually used to be a map and globe store where that's all they sold. It was the 90s. It was before computers and GPS. So those stores existed. The owner, really cool guy. I really don't want to step on his legacy or anything. Very tragic story. He ended up having some heart issues, and his wife sold the store. It's had a few iterations of what it has gone in there, and then eventually it split up into the two stores. But this place always holds a special place in my heart, and it really explains why I have a fascination with globes, specifically textured globes, and I know it's from this store. Going across the street used to be a hardware store, more like an Ace Hardware. So it used to be more like an Ace Hardware type of store. It was a mom and pop local shop, but it eventually sold out and became a different type of nail store, Spa Nail Supply. Next door to it is a Subway, what used to be a Subway. Back, I don't know if I should mention Jared. Back when I was a kid going into my YMCA just down Hillcrest, I lost 30 pounds, might have gained some of it back, and I was going to Subway for a while, and that was my summer lunch, was a 6-inch chicken teriyaki. Sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Anyway, really cool people that always work there. I always love that spot. Next door to that, which we'll get a better shot of in a minute, is an Asian store. Again, part of the culture down here. You're noticing a lot of Vietnamese, a lot of Chinese, a lot of Korean, a lot of Asian influences. Again, kind of why people want to get Vai confused with Vimy and the Vietnamese culture that's down here, but it's not. So Scrubs and Beyond, this is crazy. So this was an empty tire store for at least 20 years. It went out of business when I was a kid living in this area, and it's gotten a whole lot quieter. It was empty for so many years, just abandoned, and it used to have the old markers of the last sales and deals that were going on in the area. It sat like that for God knows how long, like 20 years. And then finally Scrubs and Beyond, which opened up a store further down, kind of near where we started, actually on Mills, which is currently, it's the new Modern restaurant. Modern? It's the new Modern restaurant. Forgive me for not pronouncing it right. Anyway, that used to be their old location. So it's really cool to see that they kind of grew up and blew up into something that's as big as it is. This is legit where I used to cross the road to go to school, dude. Could you imagine this? Little 7-year-old? Yeah. Yeah, man. This is me. I'd be on my skates. Notice, it's 2023. Where's the sidewalks leading to here? None. Yeah. Little old me on skates on a busted up old road. This road has been somewhat renewed. I remember when they put these in there, and it was stupid because I was like, well, now it's even harder for me to skate over. But yeah, dang, man. So this also used to be a completely different business, and then they had a whole bunch of restaurants come in. So I guess whatever it was either went out or whatever. I don't know. I was a little kid. Yeah. Yeah, I love being back in this area. Yeah, man. And this is the cleaned up road, by the way. You can hear all the traffic from everything. And this is the cleaned up version. So yeah, little old me, I'd be waiting, and I never paid attention to the signs because you just wait for the green lights, and then you go. That's it. That's it. So while we're waiting on the traffic, we're actually going to head towards the broadcasting building and kind of get a shot and a feel for what that is, just off Colonial. Also, this is kind of where I would say is the melting pot in between the end of Mills 50 district and what is the beginning of the milk district. When I was a kid, there was no milk district. It was just the milk factory, and you knew what area you were talking about. So something else I love about this area, and it is, I think, Central Florida themed. I don't know a lot of other cities that do it as well as we do it. We take old bungalows and turn them into businesses. So my home was just the same. My parents had their own business. And then we could see right here, this house is a business. The next one over is a business. And we could cut to different ones, all businesses all along this area. I would very much say it's a part of the culture. It's really unique. It's definitely unique to Orlando. This has been repainted. But I remember when I was a kid and they painted this the first time, and it was the coolest thing. So, also fun fact, I don't know if the sidewalk's going to be able to show it. Hey guys. I don't know if the camera's going to show it right away, but we would take this sidewalk as kids as fast as we could, and then right in between the light pole and the curb was like our little mini ramp, and we would jump off and go into the road and do whatever. Every once in a while fall, but yeah, we're kids. So they still have it. I never understood this game as a kid, and now as an adult, I still don't understand this game. Shuffleboard, and no joke, you would see like 20 people like it was a tournament out here just playing shuffleboard. Yik-yakking, drinking whatever they're drinking, smoking cigars, smoking cigarettes. Again, it was the 90s, different era, right? And just shuffleboarding. And I remember asking someone, I just stopped pretty much right here on my bike, and I was like, hey, can I play one? And this old man, as classic as possible, was like, get out of here, kid, get out of here. And I was like, ugh. And I scared and ran away. But scared? I was just scared. Next door to here was my pediatric doctor, Dr. Cuevas. And in her honor, they kept it that name because she was so beloved in the community. And unfortunately, she passed away when I was pretty young. And I love her to this day. She was really great with me. Sidebar here. I don't know if enough people really point out, like when I say the lifestyle and the vibe that's around here, like this tree is maybe 100 years old, close to it. You see that everywhere around here. Like everything is mature. You definitely get like old Florida feel. It's great. It's totally different than anything else that you experience throughout the city. Especially when people want to look at like hot new neighborhoods. You don't get this. Like this is natural. This just takes time and evolution in the area. So this is the backside of Subway. And then this is our Asian shop, which I've actually gone in here plenty of times for just random little things over the years. Always really friendly, always really clean, always a good experience. I've been around to the Family Home Care Center here. And on the other side of these bamboo shoots was Dr. Cuevas' office. And we can, again, spin to that. This is new. Clearly, this used to be an actual driveway. Breaks my heart. So why do I want to take a video of dumpsters? Because this is how it's looked for 30 freaking years. It has changed, besides the different types of graffiti on it, it has practically remained unchanged this entire time. For me, this is total nostalgia. I know it's weird, but But I love it. I love it. This is actually what I grew up with. Dr. Cuevas right here, home center right here. You don't need to record it. Don't record it. I'm not going to show it. I'm going to show the bamboo shoots and that's it. Bastards. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, look at that little birdie. Oh. So with this video, I really do want to highlight what the entire area is about. So I'm going to showcase a lot. I'm not going to even pretend to be able to pronounce that. It is a new spot. It did used to be a part of the Oriental Market. But I want to showcase everything about it. So I do want to show off a lot of the mom and pop shops. I want to show off this cargo place that apparently exists. Also fairly new. Not here when I was a kid. One cool fun fact, and I barely remember this. It could just be an Inception memory that my parents put in me. But if you see all of these monuments up front, and we'll cut to that too, they had the same types of monuments, except on the inside, they had a plant. And this was a special type of plant straight from whatever specific country they're from. And it would only blossom once and die. And it took about 10 years for it to grow. And over the years, my parents, before I was born, were watching it, being amazed by it. Apparently, people used to take a lot of photos with it. And then it blossomed the year I was born. Ding! And then it did die. So I guess that's a sad ending of a story. But anyway, all right. Recording? Okay, so they have actually changed it around a little bit. They did used to be right. The flowers used to be right in front here. So as you can see, they're doing a little bit of construction inside of here. However, they are still open. So I want to highlight this because this is the first time in my entire life I've ever seen them go through a complete remodel like this. I've seen them rearrange things, but this looks like a complete gut. So I'm excited to see kind of what happens and how it changes. But again, as you can see, we've got some beautiful statues here. It used to be some flower pots, and they were just sitting here for years, kind of unused and really nothing in there. So yeah, so that's that. So not cobblestone, but a lot of people do mention that there's brick roads. Again, very old Florida. This is what the roads looked like. As you can see, again, still very old looking trees. And this is, I love this area. Super quaint community, nice and quiet. Cameraman wanted to get a shot of this, so we did it. But yeah, this is what a lot of the roads would look like around here. A lot of bricks. So let's keep going. This is Northampton and Colonial. This is the road that I grew up on. Going all the way down, and you can zoom out. Going all the way down is actually where my school was. Here on this corner is where I would come home from school, and we're gonna wrap around here. And this is a fun little story. This is just between you and I. This got knocked over many years ago when I was a kid, and it was flipped over towards Colonial. And I was skating, and I was waiting for the traffic to stop, and I actually found a $5 bill under there. And to this day, it makes me super happy that I found a $5 bill at 8 years old. And I love it. So that's that. That's this. And we're moving onward. So this sushi place has been here for at least 15 years. It's practically a staple of the community now. They have a well-established reputation. And again, I just want to kind of give them a shout out to help support local and help support Mills 50. We're continuing onward back down towards the actual Mills Road. And I'm just going to keep giving you guys a play-by-play on exactly what I know about it. Okay, so it is almost 5 o'clock. It is time for our 5 o'clock shower. If you do not know what that is, it basically means that around 5 o'clock in Central Florida, we typically have a light rain or an actual downpour. Lasts about 15 minutes, and then we go back to bright sunny weather. So I don't know if you can really see. Let's zoom in here, try and pick up some rain. Anyway, like I said, we're just going to wait it out and then get back to checking out the city. Cheers. All right, so it has been about 15 minutes. It's been about 15 minutes. We are in front of the Black Bean Deli. This used to be Vega's Cafe. Vega's, not Vegas. And this was an old Cuban gentleman that owned the property beforehand. He had a restaurant that was also Cuban. He was Cuban, went to Miami every single morning to pick up fresh bread and fresh made pork from the night before. And he would bring it every day in Orlando and be sold out by about 1 p.m. Monday to Sunday. So he was a great spot, sold the place. It's still Cuban inspired. And if you're in the area, definitely check it out. Great Cuban food and always a good time. So this is how the real locals will travel, just right in the road. Ooh. We're going to transition a little bit. As you can tell, it's a little bit darker. It's not gray and cloudy. It is about 7 p.m. right now. One of the most important things I think that Mills 50 is known for is its nightlife. So I've showed you what this area looks like during the day. Now get a feel for what I enjoy at night. So on the main road here, we have tons of bars, businesses, and restaurants that stay open very late. And if we spin around, we're going to start here at the Pop Thai. All right, so as you might be able to tell, there's a little noise in here, and when we talk about entertainment in the Mills 50 district, the framework is one of the spots that I'm talking about when it comes to live music. Something you can literally feel shaking under your feet. Welcome to Pizza, Mills 50, newest restaurant. All right, so this one holds a special place in my heart. Back when I was a kid, the first concert I ever went to was at the original Will's Pub, which is almost towards Lock Haven Park. This is the reincarnation because the city bought out their last location. It's definitely the counterculture scene here and what I grew up with. I love it. I'll always support Will's Pub. And here's a quick shot of it. You looking for cars? That's it.